What is going on, folks? It's your man Jay, and it is time to bring you the Moto Z4. So this is, you guys requested I use some phones to do videos, so this is the front camera on the iPhone 10. Now, let's get into the video. All right, the Moto Z4 is definitely doing a Google. Here's why. They have packed in some really great specs at a price point that are under $500, $499. Okay, it's a penny. Okay, $499.99 is the price. However, the only thing that I can see people complaining about on this phone is what I complained about on the Pixel 3a XL, but I learned a hard lesson, is the processor. The processor inside this phone is a Snapdragon 675. However, I'm not going to do that anymore because we have to give these phones a chance. And I think the OEMs are onto something here. I think what we're going to see now is a huge fluctuation in what we consider flagship killers, because you've got phones like the 3a XL and the 3a that pack some serious punch, and it's not just cameras. It punches way above its weight class. But the difference between that phone and this Moto Z4, you can do Moto mods with it. The hardware is probably going to be a little bit better, probably. I'd have to get it and see. The bigger screen is OLED, and it's got a front-facing speaker, just one. It has splash-proof or water, like drip-proof, or you know what I'm trying to say. You throw some water on it, it won't mess up. In-display fingerprint reader. It's got a headphone jack. It's Type-C. It's got an SD card slot. It's got 128 gigs of storage and 4 gigs of RAM. 48 megapixel camera on the rear, and they're calling this ultra pixels and all this other stuff. It's got a 25 megapixel front shooter. Now, with all those specs thrown on the table and this beautiful package of a phone, some people are going to say it's not worth $499. Some people feel like the Pixel devices aren't worth $480 and $400. All I can say to that is we got to give them a chance. I'm learning now. I knew it before, but there wasn't very many good examples, I guess I'll say, before the Pixel 3a. But this phone right here, this Moto, I think it could probably be a win if marketed correctly and put in the right hands. Because we all know that there's a ton of phones out there that people are just missing out on. LG G8 is another great phone. Now, that's considered a flagship phone, but still, it's one of the more affordable flagship phones here in the US. $620 bottom line, that's a fantastic price for all of that phone. But the Moto Z4, to me, is a great competitor for the Pixel 3a XL. It's priced a little bit higher, but it's offering a whole bunch more on paper. We just have to get them in hand and test it out. Now, I'm really hoping to see if I can pick up a Moto Z4. It will be really nice to get one. The $500 price tag doesn't scare me when coupled with that processor, because I know that it only means so much about how big the megapixel is and all the sensor. It's the complete package. Stock Android is absolutely crazy on the Moto devices. This is something that we've already seen before. So it shouldn't be a shock to you that this phone should be a hit. Moto fans, this is great for you, because Motorola / Lenovo, they told us years back, they said, hey, we're going to release phones where you can use the Moto mods. When people saw the Moto mods, they were like, man, it's innovation is what it is. People sometimes are afraid of innovation. Whether you want to accept it or not, the Moto Z line with the Moto mods, that's true innovation, but some things are just, it's hard to catch on if companies are not pushing it like they should. So, or finding a way to get it out there in the, it's a hard thing to explain. However, I think the Moto Z4 is probably going to be a hit amongst certain crowds. It's definitely innovation. It's a fantastic looking phone, a huge OLED display, 1080p Full HD is what it is, 19.9 is the ratio. This is going to be something epic. It's just a matter of who's going to get it, who's interested in it, who's the market for it. But on paper and just based off of just raw specs alone, this is somewhat of a flagship killer. It has to be, because if it's offering more than what the 3A is offering, All it has to do is have the good cameras, the good battery. The rest of it will fall in line. Optimization is the key. It's your man Jay. What do you think about the Moto Z4? I'll see you in the next one. Take care.